The night was cold. The sky above was dark, filled with stars, but there was no peace. Fire still burned from the crashed ship, and pieces of metal lay scattered on the white snow. The sound of wind howled through the trees. Somewhere in that snowy forest, a young man named Ryan was walking, slow, tired, and half-frozen. He was a soldier. His mission had failed. His ship was hit during a space battle and crashed on this frozen alien planet. He had no food, no team, and no working radio. All he had was a torn sleeping bag and a few broken tools. His body hurt. His hand was bleeding, but he kept walking. "I need to stay awake," he said to himself. "If I sleep now, I might not wake up." As he moved deeper into the forest, he heard something. A soft sound, like someone crying or in pain. Ryan stopped. He listened again. The sound came from behind a fallen tree. Slowly, he stepped closer. There she was, an alien girl. She was lying on the snow, shaking from the cold. Her skin was a light blue color, glowing softly under the moonlight. Her eyes were large and bright, but full of fear. She looked hurt. One of her legs was bleeding. A strange metal object was near her hand. It looked like a crystal. Ryan didn't move. He didn't know if she was dangerous, but she looked weak, just like him. "Hey," he said gently. "I'm not going to hurt you." The girl didn't answer. She just looked at him. Slowly, Ryan took out his sleeping bag and opened it. "It's cold. You'll die out here," he said. "We can share this, just for the night." She still said nothing, but after a moment, she moved closer. Carefully, she entered the sleeping bag with him. She was shaking. Her skin felt cold like ice. Then, something strange happened. She took the crystal and placed it in Ryan's hand. It started to glow brighter, and suddenly, the cold was gone. Ryan felt warm, very warm, like sitting near a fire. He looked at the crystal, shocked. "What is this?" he whispered. The girl finally spoke. Her voice was soft and musical. "Life stone." Ryan had no idea what that meant. But before he could ask more, he heard something in the trees. A clicking sound, like claws on wood. The alien girl's eyes went wide. She pulled the crystal back and held it tight. Her body was shaking again, but not from the cold. Ryan looked around, heart racing. Something was out there, watching, hunting, and it wanted that crystal. The sound came again. Click, click, click. Ryan held his breath. The alien girl, Lyra, he would learn later, was staring into the darkness. Her grip on the crystal was tight, her face full of fear. Whatever was out there, it wasn't friendly. Ryan slowly reached for a small metal rod on his belt. It was the only thing that survived the crash. A broken tool, not a weapon. But maybe it could help. "Stay close," he whispered. Lyra nodded. She didn't speak again, but her eyes told him she understood. Suddenly, from the tree's movement, a shape ran across the snow. Fast. Too fast. "Run!" Ryan shouted. They both stood and ran through the snow-covered forest. Trees rushed past them. The cold returned, but the fear was stronger. Behind them, the creature followed. It was big, heavy. They could hear its growl and the crunch of snow under its feet. Lyra pointed to the left. Ryan followed. She seemed to know this place. After some time, they reached a frozen cave. Lyra jumped in first. Ryan followed, panting, his chest burning. They hid behind a wall of ice. For a few minutes, there was only silence. Ryan peeked outside. The creature was there, tall, black-skinned, eyes glowing red. It sniffed the air, then slowly moved away. Ryan sat down, his hands shaking. "What was that thing?" he asked. Lyra looked at him. She touched the crystal and then her chest. "It hunts the stone," she said. "It wants this." Ryan understood. That glowing crystal was more than just a heat source. It was powerful, and dangerous creatures wanted it. "Why did you give it to me?" he asked. Lyra was silent. Then she spoke very slowly. "You saved me. I saved you." Ryan looked at her. Even though she was not human, her words felt human. "Thank you," he said. She gave a small smile. Then, using her fingers and the snow, she drew a simple map. Ryan watched closely. It showed a mountain, a river, and a round symbol glowing at the end. "That's where you're going?" Ryan asked. She nodded. He looked at the map again. The symbol at the end looked like a portal. "Maybe a way off this planet." "I'll help you," he said. Lyra looked surprised. "Why?" Ryan stood up, brushing snow off his jacket. "Because we're both stranded. And I think that crystal of yours is more than just a light in the cold." Lyra stood too. She opened a small device on her wrist. A faint blue light scanned Ryan. The alien tech beeped. "Human. Trust possible," she said. He laughed softly. "Well, that's a start." Outside, the wind howled again. But this time, Ryan wasn't alone. And neither was she. The cave was quiet. Outside, the snowstorm covered their tracks. Ryan and Lyra sat near a small fire, one that didn't burn with flames, but glowed blue, thanks to her alien crystal. The warmth kept them alive, but neither of them felt safe. Ryan leaned against the cave wall. His arm was hurting badly. Blood had soaked through the sleeve of his jacket. Lyra saw this. She slowly walked over and knelt beside him. From her belt, she took a small silver device. It looked like a pen, but when she clicked it, a soft green light appeared at the tip. Ryan stared at it. "What's that?" She didn't answer. Gently, she rolled up his sleeve and pressed the light to his wound. It stung for a second. Then slowly the pain started to fade. He looked at his arm. The cut was closing. "Whoa," he whispered. "That's amazing." Lyra smiled, just a little. "Healer stick," she said. Ryan gave a small laugh. "Wish we had those back on Earth." For a moment, things felt calm. But inside Ryan's mind, memories were still burning. He remembered his last mission before the crash. He had made a mistake. He was a squad leader, sent to rescue civilians from a damaged space station. But he gave the wrong command. An airlock opened too early, and people were lost. His team blamed him. He blamed himself even more. That was the mission that got him reassigned to a supply run. A boring, safe mission. But it ended in disaster anyway. "I wasn't supposed to be here," he said quietly. Lyra looked at him. She didn't understand every word, but she saw the pain in his eyes. She picked up a small rock and used her crystal to draw something on it. Glowing lines and symbols. She turned it toward him. It showed 2 stars. One broken, one still shining. "Broken doesn't mean useless," she said softly. Ryan looked at her, surprised. How could someone from another world understand him like that? Just then, the scanner on Lyra's wrist beeped. She looked down, and her face went pale. Ryan leaned over. "What is it?" She turned the screen toward him. It showed a red blinking dot moving fast. "They found us," she said. Ryan stood quickly. "The creature." Lyra shook her head. "Worse." She tapped the screen again. A hologram appeared, showing a ship not alien, but human. Ryan's eyes widened. "That's Earth Fleet. They track crystal," Lyra said. "Same as the monster." Ryan felt a chill. If his own people were tracking the crystal, what would they do if they found Lyra? "You said this crystal opens a portal?" he asked. She nodded. "Home, for me." Ryan looked at the glowing stone in her hand. Now he understood. This wasn't just survival anymore. It was a race to get her home, before both monsters and humans stopped her. The cave couldn't hide them for long. Lyra's scanner kept blinking. Red dots. Getting closer. Ryan knew time was running out. He looked at the broken comm device he had carried since the crash. It sparked sometimes, but never worked. Still, he had to try. "If I can send a message," he said, "maybe someone friendly will hear it. Maybe my people will come." Lyra looked uneasy. "Your people want the crystal. Not me." Ryan sighed. He didn't want to believe that, but the truth was hard to ignore. Even so, he started working. He had pieces of metal, old wires, and the alien crystal's energy. Maybe it could boost the signal. Lyra didn't stop him, but she watched closely, eyes full of worry. After an hour of work, the screen blinked. Static. Then a small light. A signal. It's working. Ryan smiled. He sent out a short message. Survivor alive. Need rescue. Location attached. Then he shut it off. Lyra stood up. You call them. Now, they come. It's just a message, Ryan said. I didn't tell them about you or the crystal. But Lyra was scared. She stepped back, holding the crystal close. You don't trust me? Ryan asked. I trust, she said slowly. But I fear. Before he could answer, the cave began to shake. A loud roar echoed through the forest. Trees fell. Snow poured down. Ryan ran to the entrance and looked out. A ship was landing, huge, gray, and human-made. But it wasn't a rescue ship. It was a military dropship. Lyra's scanner blinked red. They are armed, she said. Ryan's heart dropped. He had called for help but brought danger instead. From the ship, soldiers stepped out. 6 of them wearing black armor, Earth Fleet symbols on their shoulders. One of them spoke into a device. We've got a signal. Life forms detected. Moving in. Ryan grabbed his bag. We have to move. Now. But before they could run, a shadow moved fast behind them. The creature, the same one from before, jumped from the trees. This time it wasn't alone. 2 more creatures followed, their claws sharp, their eyes glowing red. The soldiers opened fire. Energy blasts flew across the snow. Explosions lit the dark forest. Screams echoed. Ryan and Lyra ran. Branches scratched their skin. Ice broke under their feet. Lyra stopped suddenly and held out the crystal. It glowed brighter than ever. Now, she said, we must reach the gate. Ryan nodded. Then let's run faster. Behind them, humans fought aliens. But in front of them, somewhere in the distance, Portal was waiting. Snow flew past them as Ryan and Lyra ran through the forest. Behind them, gunfire echoed, and alien roars shook the ground. Trees burned. The air smelled like smoke and fear. Lyra held the crystal close to her chest. Its glow was flickering now, like it was growing weaker. We're close, she said. The gate is near. Ryan nodded, breathing hard. We'll make it. But just then he heard a voice. Ryan, stop. He turned. 3 soldiers stood behind him, weapons raised. One of them stepped forward. Commander Vale, his old superior. The same man who sent him on the mission that ended in a crash. Ryan, Vale said. You're alive. Thank God. Ryan didn't move. What are you doing here? We followed your signal. You're coming with us, Vale said. Then his eyes moved to Lyra. And she's bringing the crystal. Lyra stepped back. Ryan stood between them. She's not a threat. She just wants to go home. Vale raised an eyebrow. She's an alien, Ryan. That crystal she's carrying. Do you even know what it is? Ryan glanced at Lyra. It powers a portal. That's all. No, Vale said. It's more than that. Our scientists say it can power entire ships, weapons, colonies. It's a resource, maybe the most powerful thing we've ever seen. Ryan's heart sank. So, you're not here to save me. We're here to secure the crystal, Vale replied. Alive or dead. The words hit Ryan like ice. He looked at the soldiers. Their guns were now aimed not at the alien but at both of them. Lyra touched his arm gently. Go, she whispered. You don't have to choose this. I'll run alone. Ryan looked at her glowing eyes. She had trusted him. She had healed him, saved him. He turned back to Vale. I'm not giving her up, Ryan said. Vale's face hardened. Then you're a traitor. Without warning, Ryan grabbed a flash grenade from his bag and threw it. Boom! A blinding light filled the forest. He grabbed Lyra's hand. Run! They sprinted into the trees. Energy blasts flew past them. One hit the ground inches away. Lyra led the way now, her crystal glowing brighter again. Through the trees, a light appeared ahead. A strange circle in the air, floating between 2 giant rocks. The gate! She shouted. Ryan's heart pounded. Behind them, Vale's voice roared. Don't let them escape. But Ryan didn't stop. He looked at Lyra. "You trust me?" he asked. "Yes," she said. He smiled. "Then let's jump together." They ran straight toward the portal as it began to shimmer. Right before they crossed the edge, Ryan looked back. Bullets, fire, humans chasing, monsters hunting, and then silence. They vanished through the light. The world changed in a flash. 1 second, Ryan and Lyra were running through snow and fire. The next, they were standing in a place that looked like a dream. The sky above them was deep purple, with 2 glowing moons. Strange plants glowed softly under their feet. The air was warm, and the wind carried a sweet, soft sound, like singing. Ryan looked around, shocked. "Where are we?" Lyra took a deep breath and smiled. "Home." The portal shimmered behind them, still open. But not for long. The light was fading. "We're safe," Ryan said. Lyra shook her head. "Not yet." Suddenly, a shadow fell across the ground. They both turned. Through the portal, something came through. A black, spiked creature larger than the ones before. Its eyes were red, glowing like fire. It roared, and the ground shook beneath its feet. Behind it, more soldiers appeared, Commander Vale included. The portal hadn't closed fast enough. Lyra gasped. "They followed us." Ryan looked around quickly. "We need to destroy the portal. Now." Lyra held up the crystal. Its glow was fading. "It's weak. One last use." The creature charged. Soldiers fired at it, but their bullets bounced off its thick skin. The monster grabbed one man and threw him into the air like a doll. Commander Vale aimed at Ryan. "Give me the crystal." Ryan stepped in front of Lyra. "You'll have to shoot me." Vale didn't hesitate. Bang! The bullet flew, but stopped in mid-air. A bright shield appeared between them. Lyra was using the last of the crystal's power to protect him. Her knees shook. Her skin grew pale. Ryan turned to her. "Stop! You're dying." She looked into his eyes. "You saved me. Now I save you." She walked forward, holding the crystal high. Her hands were glowing. Her voice grew louder, speaking in her own language. The portal shook violently. The creature roared and charged at her. "No!" Ryan shouted. Just before the monster reached her, Lyra slammed the crystal into the ground. Boom! A wave of light exploded in every direction. The portal shattered into a million tiny pieces of light. The monster screamed and vanished. The soldiers were thrown back through the broken portal before it disappeared completely. Then silence. Ryan crawled to Lyra. She was lying on the ground, her chest barely moving. "No, no, no," he whispered. "Don't do this." She opened her eyes, weak but smiling. "You are free now," she said softly. Her fingers reached for his. "Promise me. You'll remember." "I promise," he said, eyes full of tears. And then her hand went still. Ryan sat there in silence. The stars above him felt colder now. But suddenly, a soft humming filled the air. He turned. The ground glowed, and in the distance, a new light began to rise. Was it another portal or something else? The world was quiet again. Ryan sat beside Lyra's body under the glowing sky. The alien grass swayed gently around them. A soft wind blew, carrying a strange peacefulness. He looked up at the stars, 2 moons shining above. Felt unreal, beautiful and painful. She was gone. The crystal had burned out in her hands. She had used everything, her power, her strength, her life, to protect him, to save both their worlds. He whispered, "You didn't deserve this." He buried the crystal beside her, wrapping it in a piece of his Earth fleet patch. Then he sat still, not ready to leave her. Hours passed. Suddenly, his wrist communicator beeped. Signal detected. He stood quickly. "What?" The screen lit up with strange symbols, then changed into English. "Lyra is not gone. Follow the light." Ryan turned. The soft glow he saw earlier was now stronger. A path of floating lights had appeared, stretching far into the glowing hills. He didn't understand, but his heart told him to follow. He walked for hours. The alien world around him pulsed with strange beauty. Floating trees, rivers of light, and animals made of mist. It didn't feel like a planet. Felt like something more. Finally, at the top of a hill, he saw a large arch, built from the same glowing crystal as Lyra's stone. In the center, a small round device floated in the air, blinking. Ryan stepped closer. The device came alive and played a hologram. It was Lyra. She was smiling. "If you see this, it means I survived. The portal split me. My body stayed, but my mind traveled here. This is my true home, a place between worlds. You brought me back, Ryan." Ryan couldn't speak. Lyra's voice continued. "Thank you for your kindness, for your heart, for choosing me when you didn't have to. You are more than a soldier. You are hope." The message faded. In that moment, Ryan understood. Lyra wasn't dead. She had become part of the portal, part of the energy of this world. She lived on, not in body but in light. He looked down at the bracelet she once wore. It blinked softly, then showed one final message. "I will wait for you." Tears rolled down Ryan's face, but this time, not from pain. He smiled. He turned and looked at the sky again. There was no going back to Earth now, but maybe he didn't need to. He picked up the crystal bracelet, wore it on his wrist, and stepped forward into the glowing world that Lyra had left for him. A world of second chances. A world of peace. A world where he was no longer a broken soldier, but something more.